approximately 1 in 5 Western New Yorkers are living with a mental health diagnosis. But the Anti-Stigma Coalition is looking to put an end to the stigma surrounding the discussion. And here with us now to tell us how they're doing it is Matthew and Brandy. Thanks so much for coming in today, you two.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Let's start off with talking about what exactly is the Anti-Stigma Coalition, Matthew.
Anti-Stigma Coalition has been around for several years when 16 organizations came together wanting to address stigma around mental illness. Stigma was a force that was impacting everyone's work, making things difficult because it's the force that stops people from getting help when they need it. We just talked about 1 in 5 people suffering with a mental health condition, and the vast majority, too many of them do not seek out help. And one of the reasons that doesn't happen is shame, embarrassment, silence, stereotypes that cause people to feel a certain way about mental illness. And the coalition seeks through the Let's Talk Stigma campaign to replace myths with facts, get people to tell their stories, especially their success stories of getting better and living happy, productive lives, and try to get to, kick at that stigma so we could all help people better and create a society where help giving and help receiving are the norm.
That's right, and you have a community breakfast for veterans happening on Friday, the November 14th. Tell us about that.
Well, on November 14th, we're getting together at least once a year. The coalition likes to have a big in-person event where we can do a nice mile marker in the journey, big group hug, big group high five for the work of the past year. And this year we chose to do it in November. We always do veterans, events and Facebook Lives and things like that, of course, throughout the year. But this is going to be a really, really special event. Doors open at 8 o'clock. It's free. Breakfast is included. Many, many different organizations will be represented there for services, and so people can come and learn about that. But mostly it's going to be about getting to meet and hear the story of such an impressive individual, Tom Voss.
Yes, okay. We're going to get into him in a second, but I want to know from you, Brandy, Foundation 214 is actually the event sponsor, so tell us why it was important for your foundation to get involved.
Well, it's important because our foundation has been supporting military folks since its beginning, which the beginning was with Sal Alfiero, my father-in-law, who was a Marine fighter pilot.
Okay.
So because of him, we have started this foundation just to support our men and women, support their families. So when Anti-Stigma came and asked if we'd be a sponsor, it was a no-brainer. We definitely said yes. And we support more than just veterans, but this is really important. I can't imagine being one of the men and women in uniform and not having the help that they need. And this is a great opportunity for us to show our support to the community, but also be part of a community that is so forgotten sometimes.
Yeah. Tell us more about the services that you have to offer for people through Foundation 214.
So our foundation supports nonprofits within Western New York, all the counties, when it comes to education and healthcare. Now, 2 of those things are related when it comes to children, veterans, and the elderly. Like I said, my father-in-law had started the foundation when it used to be Alfiero Charitable Foundation. Then we moved into being Foundation 214, which is a tip of the hat to the military folks. We have been supporting many organizations like this one for years now, and we will help in any way we can. Our door is always open. If you see me in Wegmans, talk to me.
Okay, so you mentioned Tom Voss as your guest speaker on the 14th. Can you tell us a little bit about his story?
Tom Voss is an extraordinary guy. He served in Operation Iraqi Freedom and came back and struggled with his mental illness, PTSD primarily, and other things. And it was really a difficult journey for him, even leading up to thoughts of suicide. So he worked on himself very, very hard with meditation and other techniques, and took a long walk with a fellow veteran from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, all the way to Los Angeles
Well,
to
that is quite
help
a
him
long
in his
walk.
journey. Yes, it was. I'm reminded of like Forrest Gump kind of thing. And so they did this, and then he wrote a book, and there was a documentary about his journey as well. But it's about healing. It's about anti-stigma. It's about how does one work with PTSD and moral injury, which are topics that he's very well versed in and is really great at sharing. And we're so excited to have people come together to hear about the resources, hear about the coalition, and hear his story.
And why is it so important to talk about veterans' mental health specifically? That's the focus right now.
Brandy, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So what we've seen throughout the years, especially with all the different wars that we've had to be involved in, our men and women in the service are not getting the support that they need. And a lot of it has to do with it. We didn't recognize what it was.
Right.
We didn't recognize that it was because of their deployments or because they're away from their families. So this event and the resources that are going to be there are very important to everybody knows we're there for you. These resources are there for you. And it's, at the end of the day, these are our men and women that have sacrificed for us. The least we can do is have the resources at their fingertips to be able to be better, you know, feel like they're back home. They're not still fighting.
Well, thank you both so much for coming in and sharing more about this and the upcoming community breakfast. Because if you'd like to learn more about the community breakfast, it's happening November 14th. Visit letstalkstigma.org. This segment is sponsored by the Anti-Stigma Coalition. Thanks again for coming in, Brandy and Matt.
Thank you.